the sun's coming out, but it's incredibly wet underfoot here in Suffolk. We're cracking on with the XPRO 535. We've done quite a bit that I'll show later, and we're now fitting the fill gauge, which I think we're going to fit here. You have to buy a 53mm hole saw for that, and on the bezel of the gauge you've got very little to work with, but we're going to go for it now and drill the hole. I hate drilling big holes in ground. Right, drilling the hole with the hole saw. I hate this job, but we just work away at it slowly and surely. Doors coughing, we both had horrible coughs. Right, so there's the hole, looks quite neat. Let's see how well, you hold it indoors, the dial fits in, because you get very little bezel to play with. No wing there. There we go. Want everybody join in. Oh, I think that's a good position for it. I just did the fixings at the back. So the plan is to have that dial, the engine revs dial there, which we don't know about yet, the marine radio there, the switch panel here probably, and if we have a music radio there, and the chart plotter up there. So I think that was the best place for it. I haven't got everything, so it's a little bit of a job hit and miss planning it, but that'll do. I don't really sleep at night because I keep waking up thinking of jobs to do on the rib. I've made a little list of the various jobs with a date that we've done it or need to do it. At the moment I'm sitting here checking Amazon to see when my 4.2mm drill bits are out for delivery, which is not yet, but plenty of little jobs still to do. One half of the straps that will hold down on the lifting eyes with the pads on them. We'll fit those in a minute. Excuse the mess on the table. Owen wasn't happy about that. I just tighten up the little nuts to fit the fill gauge that you saw me drill a hole. So there's the nuts, fit the little things. They tighten up. I had to bend that bracket to get it to hold. These are all ever so tight and fitted, ever so slightly on the wonk, but I'll adjust that later when I put a little bit of Loctite on the back of the little tiny boat. Owen doors seems to be doing a little bit of gardening, and that was her greenhouse that we moved and fitted there earlier in a week or two ago. This workshop, we've got the floor to the console hanging up. Well, I'm yacht varnishing it. One over there and one over there in the mess. We've got the trusty, one of my trusty diesel heaters to switch on to warm it up when it gets cold, to dry the varnish. I can give it a coat each morning. There we go, 12mm ply. Let's see if the Amazon parcel was out. Let's click refresh and see what it does. Come on, out for, no, still not out for the delivery. Should be here today though sometime. So the situation here is, because that back seat needs, I want it to go as far back as it can. That's the maximum tilt we can get on the engine, which is plenty for towing. So but I can't get it on those tilt locks. But what I made out of an old roller, or a new roller for a trailer, is that. So this is like a transom saver, and you put it on that ram, force it over. A bit of WD-40 helps at this point, and then that twists into there, and then you can put your engine down, and that holds your engine. So that will hold it on towing, and it's at the right height for the seat. So that was a nice little job. That cost £6, but works quite well actually. I won't tilt it because the battery's disconnected. Now to fit the hold down straps, which we fit onto those eyes and down onto the straps on the boat, which are under there. Shit, we covered it up because a bird gets in here and likes to shit. So the straps haven't fit quite as I'd hoped, but they do go onto there. They come here, and that bit of foam there, if it should hit, and it's not. So we're tight onto the hole there and onto this. So when I take it off, I've just got to untie that loose knot there, release here, ease it a bit, and if I leave them the right length, then they should be good to go on when we pack up for the day. So hopefully that will work. But it's certainly not strapping over the tubes, which you don't do on a rib. Now for the other side. Old Amazon again. Look what happened this time. Track parcel. Yo, smashed it out for delivery. And I can see it there on my CCTV. Well, Amazon hasn't turned up, so I'm just doing little tiny jobs. I put a float on the 2 keys and we've decided on a name for the boat. So as my other boats are click and collect and add to cart, this one will be buy it now. 2 little floats with red on so I can see them if you drop them. I've faffed about with the fuel tank. The biggest we can get in is a 33 litre. It's going to have the gauge which I'll put in. Interestingly, these all come with a 10mm thing, yet it's 8mm pipe internal. So I've got a length of 10, which I'll connect to there, and then with the joiner, I'll put it onto 8. But why they do 8 for a little tank like that, a 10, beg your pardon, for a little tank like that, beggars belief. No one would have an engine with 8mm, 10mm pipe rather, with a tank that size. This is how I'm going to bolt the console and the leaning seat down. So I've got 75mm 3mm thick neoprene, which I'll split. So that will be just under about 38mm. That will stick a strip to the bottom of the console, and then that will be on the deck. Then I'm going to drill through the flange on the console, and I'm going to use this, which is the chopping board, which I've drilled and countersunk as like a continuous, well, washer I suppose. And I'm using these A4 stainless self tappers, which are 5.5mm diameter, through that into the fiberglass of the return of the console, through the deck, which is about 24mm. That will be on the bottom, but there'll be a gap each side, which I will then fill or gun in some CT1 or Silk Effects CT1 clear, and I'm sure that should hold well. Right, that's enough for today. The drill bits haven't arrived, so we'll stop for a day now. Thanks for watching. Indoors just a waiting and reckon she'd give me the last biscuit.